This one's my favorite. Today I'm reviewing Tales from the Gas Station, Volume 4. I was not expecting to like this one nearly as much as I did. I have enjoyed all of the books in the series so far. It is incredibly rare for a final book in the series to be the best one. I would say it's a result of the story firing on all cylinders, the comedy firing on all cylinders, and it being a continuation of everything that's happened in each of the 3 books beforehand. It's compiled all of the elements of the series and really brought them together into a final curtain call that works super well for the story, incorporates all the characters and all the events, and the events of the 3rd book, which I was worried about not continuing into this one, all are pulled in super nicely, and it feels like a perfect send-off to the series. I really enjoyed it, and it went into the emotional moments and paired the emotional moments with the comedy in a way that was just amazing. That has always been one of my favorite things, is when a movie or a show or a book or really any form of media that largely deals with a lot of comedy is able to incorporate those emotional moments. I think that's why Wes Anderson films are so good, and why comedic actors like Jim Carrey, or someone even say Robin Williams, can give such amazing dramatic performances, is because ideally these people that work in comedy know how to incorporate the dramatic and emotional elements and really make them stick, because they understand the emotions behind it super well. And this book is a perfect example of that. It goes into Jack's backstory with his father, and we get to spend some time with his father as well and see what a piece of work he is, and it's funny and it's interesting. And my favorite part of this book by far is the relationship between Jack and his girlfriend, who, spoilers, his girlfriend is in a coma and has been for quite some time. There hasn't been any brain activity, and he is going back through his memories with her to try and uncover the central mystery, or the for plot reasons he has to go back through his memories. And there's some weird mind-bendy stuff, which, I love some mind-bendy stuff in my stories, and it incorporated the comedy, and there were just there's always been really cool dramatic and horror concepts in all 3 of these books, or all 4 of these books. And this one had my favorite by far, because the way this book deals with loss and grief and so many darker elements that were in this book compared to the other ones, that gives more of a weight to it. It still has that irreverent sense of comedy and that the great dialogue and writing and sardonic charm, but it packs more of a punch this time around, and I was fully caught up in it and really enjoyed it. And by the end, just culminates everything. There's only really one way that this series, I think, could have ever ended, and it sticks to the landing overall. And I am very thankful that I, number one, was able to get this book series and read it and do a review for all of you guys.
This video doesn't have a sponsor, but if you'd like to support me making more videos like this, my book Ashwood is out right now. It's a supernatural thriller with a touch of psychological and supernatural horror. It's set in the late 1980s in a small town in the Ozark Mountains in rural Arkansas, and it follows 5 kids as they uncover a series of strange disappearances and a conspiracy throughout their town. It's 500 pages. It's based on a series of cold cases from Arkansas in the 1980s and takes inspiration from Stranger Things, Stand By Me, and Twin Peaks. For YouTube viewers only, I have a special sale going on right now. It's 20% off if you use the link in the description. That's 20% off if you click the link in the description. Thank you so much. Let's get right back to the video.
And it does some cool stuff with like time and perception of time. And not in like an Inception or Tenet way, or there's no like time travel, but there's some weird stuff because Jack has this tenuous grasp on reality. It allows for some cool narrative devices, and there's one point where he sees other versions of himself at different points of time, and we come back to that moment from the other versions of Jack throughout the points of the story. So we see, and we don't know this at the start of the story, but we see him at the start and then at the middle and the end. I don't know how the hell that works, but it was just really cool and interesting. I was like, wow, I thought it was really well done. But yeah, dude, I really wholeheartedly recommend this book and recommend the series overall. There hasn't been a bad book in this series, which is hard to do, and I think that's every author's dream ultimately, is to have a solid series that is enjoyable in whatever genre or for whatever reason that it is, and to maintain that all the way through is a huge accomplishment. And to be able to cap it off with what I think is the best book in the series, I really love the first one because I have so much nostalgia for it, but I think the 4th one is the best, which I was not expecting at all. So hats off to Jack Townsend. Amazing job, amazing work. And as with any book, there's pros and cons to everything. There are a couple things here. The character relationship between Jack and O'Brien, the cop, it did carry over the events of the 3rd book in an interesting way, but it did make me, but I did miss kind of the dynamic that the 2 of them had, and it was noticeably absent in this book, but it didn't take away from the story, because there were a litany of other things that I was thinking about throughout the entirety of this book. But whenever they would have an interaction, it would be a little melancholy, because you miss that character dynamic, and that was the point of it in the story, and it works. So it had the intended effect. If you're up to the series at this point, or you've seen the other reviews, and you're on the fence about buying the fourth book, absolutely buy it. I wholeheartedly recommend it. But do not buy the fourth book and only the fourth book, because you will have no idea what the hell's going on. It is very necessary for you to read the other books in the series first, but it is a great culmination of all the other elements from the other 3 books in the series. So overall, I'm going to give Tales from the Gas Station Volume 4 an 8 out of 10. And overall, I'm going to give Tales from the Gas Station Volume 4 an 8 out of 10. I think it wholeheartedly deserves it. I'm very happy with how the book turned out, and just the reading experience and everything. It was great. The comedy was great. The story was great. It was woven together. And again, Tales from the Gas Station is always at its best when the comedy and the story are woven together in a way that is able to balance the irreverent humor and the connections that we have to these characters, and in an emotional arc and story that isn't anticlimactic. And the fourth book is a perfect example of that. But yeah, honestly, that's I'm not trying to search out the runtime of the video, so thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to do all of the silly YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, share the video, send it to your grandmother. Send this video to your grandmother. Do it. Okay. I will be sacrificing Go to the YouTube algorithm, so this can hopefully get out to as many people as possible. Don't forget to leave a comment letting me know what you thought of the video and what you thought of the fourth book. Did you like it as much as I did? Or maybe not. Let me know in the comment section. Just shut up. Stop talking. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.